Welcome to Moodera Studio, the space where we explore the inner seasons of your mind, one episode at a time. Today, we're slowing everything down. This episode is called The Power of Doing Nothing: Why the Most Productive Thing You Can Do is Stop. If you're listening while multitasking, constantly checking your phone, or feeling guilty for not doing more, this one is for you. By the end of this episode, you'll see that pausing isn't wasting time. It's one of the most powerful forms of self-care and clarity you can give yourself. So take a breath, settle in, and let's step into the quiet together. Let me paint a picture for you. Right now, somewhere, someone is sitting on their couch. They're scrolling through their phone. And there's this little voice in their head, maybe you know it well, that's saying, "You should be productive. You should be doing something." Sound familiar? Here's the thing. We live in a world that glorifies busyness. Staying busy has become a badge of honor. If you're not constantly working, constantly grinding, constantly doing, well, then you're lazy. You're falling behind. But here's what I want you to hear. That little voice in your head is lying to you. We've confused activity with achievement. We've confused motion with progress. And the cost? Burnout, anxiety, exhaustion. We're burning ourselves out. And for what? The truth is, rest isn't laziness. It's essential. And today, we're going to explain why. Now, before we go further, I need you to understand something crucial. Not all rest is created equal. There's fake rest, and there's true rest. And most of us, we're only experiencing fake rest. Think about it. You finish work, you're exhausted, so what do? You turn on Netflix, right? You scroll through social media, you check the news, and your brain is like, finally, I can relax. But here's the science. Your brain isn't actually resting. It's still in input mode. It's still processing. You're watching storylines, absorbing visual stimuli. Your nervous system is still engaged. That's not rest. That's just a different kind of work. True rest is different. True rest is daydreaming. It's sitting in a garden without your phone. It's walking without checking notifications. It's giving your mind a total break from structured activities. No inputs, no stimulation, just you and your thoughts. The goal? Fake rest versus true rest. And we need to stop confusing the two. Here's a question that should make you pause. What if doing nothing is actually an investment in yourself? Society tells us to hustle. Hustle culture, right? Wake up at 5 a.m., run, shower, work, side hustle, network, grind until you reach the top. That's the message we hear everywhere. But science, actual neuroscience, suggests something totally different. Our brains are not meant to be on all the time. We're not designed for 24/7 productivity. Here's a quote I love, and it stuck with me. You wouldn't expect your phone to work 24/7 without charging it. Why do you expect that from yourself? Think about that for a second. We treat our phones with more care than we treat ourselves. We charge them. We let them rest. We don't expect them to run at full capacity forever. So why do we do that to ourselves? Here's the shift. Silence isn't empty. Silence is full of answers. And that time you spend doing nothing, it's not wasted time. It's investment time. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Because when you understand what's happening in your brain during rest, you'll never feel guilty for doing nothing again. There's something called the default mode network, or DMN. And it's probably one of the most important discoveries in neuroscience over the last 20 years. Here's how it works. When you're focused on a task, when you're writing an email, solving a problem, working on a presentation, one part of your brain is very active. We call this the task-positive network. Your brain is laser-focused. It's on. But the moment you stop focusing, the moment you zone out, daydream, let your mind wander, something amazing happens. A different network kicks in. The default mode network activates. And this is the key. Your brain is actually working harder during this mode than it is during focus. The DMN is responsible for connecting ideas. It processes emotions. It makes sense of your life. It's doing the deep work that your conscious mind can't do when you're actively thinking. So when you feel guilty for spacing out, when you feel like you're wasting time daydreaming, your brain is actually solving problems in the background. It's connecting dots. It's working for you. So what exactly is happening when your default mode network is active? Let me break down the three main things. First, self-reflection. Your brain is processing who you are, how you feel, what matters to you. It's the internal narrative, the sense-making that makes you, you. Second, memory consolidation. Remember that conversation you had yesterday? That new concept you learned? That experience? Your brain is organizing it, storing it, making it part of your long-term memory. Without this, nothing sticks. And third, problem solving. Here's the thing about problems: sometimes you don't even know you have them until your brain brings them to the surface. But that wandering mind? It's addressing issues you didn't even consciously realize you had. It's working through them in the background. So the next time you catch yourself spacing out, remember, your brain isn't being lazy. It's doing the invisible work that makes you better, smarter, and more creative. Let's talk about what constant busyness does to your body. And this is important because rest isn't just good for your mind, it's essential for your physical health. When you're constantly busy, constantly stressed, your body stays in what's called fight or flight mode. This is your survival mode. Your ancient ancestors used this mode to survive predators. But we're not running from saber-toothed tigers anymore. Yet our bodies are still in survival mode, all day, every day. What's the cost? High cortisol, the stress hormone. And with chronic stress comes a weakened immune system. You get sick more easily. Anxiety, your nervous system is always on edge. Increased risk of heart disease. Your cardiovascular system is constantly taxed. Digestive problems. Your gut shuts down when you're in survival mode. It's a cascade of health problems, and most of us don't even realize it's happening. But here's where true rest comes in. Real rest, not Netflix rest, but true rest triggers what's called rest and digest mode. It's the physiological shift your body desperately needs. When you actually rest, when you give your nervous system a break, cortisol drops, your immune system strengthens, your digestion improves, your cardiovascular system heals, your body moves from survival to repair mode, and that's when healing happens. Ever noticed how your best ideas happen in the shower, or on a walk, or right before you fall asleep? There's actually a reason for that, and it's related to everything we've been discussing. Creativity requires your brain to make new connections, to think in novel ways, and these connections happen best when you're not forcing yourself to think, when you're not pushing, when you're relaxed. Innovation isn't about powering through, it's about stepping back. It's about giving your mind space to wander. When your brain is relaxed, it's not constrained by the immediate task. It's free to explore, to make unexpected connections, to think creatively. So if you're stuck on a problem, if you're trying to be creative, the worst thing you can do is sit there and force it. The best thing? Step back. Do nothing. Let your brain do its thing. That shower idea? That's your default mode network at work. Here's something fascinating. Different cultures have very different relationships with rest. In the West, especially in hustle culture, rest equals laziness. If you're not working, you're wasting time. The result? Burnout, depression, anxiety. A whole generation exhausted and burnt out before they're 30. But there are other cultures that understand something we've forgotten. In Italian culture, there's a concept called dolce far niente. It literally means the sweetness of doing nothing. And you know what the result is? Well-being, happiness, a healthier relationship with work and life. The point is, constant busyness is not a biological necessity. It's a choice. It's a cultural value system that we've bought into. And we can choose differently. Different cultures prove that it's possible to build a life around balance, around rest, around the sweetness of simply being. We can too. Let me tell you about an experiment that changed someone's life, and maybe it can change yours too. The experiment was simple: 20 minutes a day of pure sitting. No phone, no input, no stimulation, just sitting. Days 1 through 3, the torture. The mind was racing. This person felt like they were drowning in tasks. They felt extreme resistance. Every cell in their body wanted to reach for their phone and do something. But they stuck with it. Day 7, the shift. They started noticing things. The sound of birds, the quality of light, their surroundings. Boredom was turning into observation. They were actually paying attention to the world around them instead of to their racing thoughts. By day 14 and beyond, the result: mental space gained. They felt lighter. And here's the key: their productivity during work hours actually increased. Because their brain was finally getting proper rest, they could focus better when they needed to. This wasn't magic. This was just what happens when you give your nervous system the rest it's been begging for. Okay, so now you know why rest matters. Now let's talk about how to actually do it. Step 1. Give yourself permission. And this is actually the hardest part. Not the sitting, not the doing nothing. The hardest part is letting go of the guilt. You need to give yourself permission to pause, permission to rest, permission to do nothing. And you need to understand that it's not selfish. It's necessary. The action: start small. You don't need an hour. 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Even that is more than most of us are giving ourselves. And remember that quote: give yourself permission to pause. It's not selfish. It's necessary. That's step 1. Give yourself permission. Step 2. Designate a no-tech zone. This is about creating a physical space for doing nothing. A space that's sacred. A space where you can actually rest. And the rule is simple: no phones allowed. Not smartwatches. Not tablets. Nothing. This space is strictly for observation and presence. That's it. That's the only rule. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be a corner of your living room, a garden bench, a cafe, anywhere. The point is to create a boundary, a space where technology isn't invited. Because, let's be honest, if your phone is there, you're going to pick it up. Your brain knows it's there, and the urge will be almost irresistible. So remove the temptation, create a no-tech zone, and protect it. Step 3. Embrace the boredom. This is going to sound counterintuitive, but boredom is actually a gateway to creativity. Boredom is where the magic happens. Here's the challenge. The next time you're waiting in line, the next time you're on a train, the next time you have a few minutes of nothing scheduled, resist the urge to reach for your phone. Just be. Let yourself be bored. Be present with the discomfort. Don't run from it. And I promise you, you might be surprised at what comes up when the digital noise stops. An idea, a memory, a realization, a moment of peace. Boredom isn't the enemy. It's actually the gateway. So embrace it. Sit with it. See where it takes you. Step 4. Observe, don't judge. Here's the reality. When you sit down to do nothing, your mind is going to wander. It's going to jump to your to-do list. It's going to remind you of that thing you need to do. That thing you forgot to do. That thing you're worried about. That's normal. Your brain isn't broken. That's just what brains do. But here's the technique that actually works. Don't fight the thoughts. That just makes it worse. Instead, observe them. Notice them. Oh, there's that thought about work again. That's it. You're not judging it. You're not following it. You're just noticing it. Then you release it. You let it pass, and you gently bring your attention back to the present. Observe. Don't judge. Release. Return. That's the rhythm. Do that for 5 minutes. Do that for 20 minutes. You'll be amazed at how it changes your relationship with your own mind. Let me leave you with this image. We are like candles. We can burn all the way down until there is nothing left. Or we can choose to rest. We can choose to pause. We can choose to take care of ourselves. In a world that glorifies busyness, choosing to do nothing is not laziness. It's radical. It's powerful. It's the most productive, the most important thing you can do. So here's my challenge for you. Start now. Not tomorrow. Not after you finish your to-do list. Now. Find 5 minutes. Give yourself permission. Turn off your phone and just be. Because your brain is working, your body is healing, and you're investing in yourself. That's the power of doing nothing. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.